and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 Ticket.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info, or call 402-467-1627.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one. All the things.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into the hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We'll have to move that camera there, Rico.
Yep, I would.
Nick and Rico joining you as usual here on the Happy Hour. 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today. And today's the day that you probably want to go over to the video stream.
Now, there's a trigger warning. There will be bugs on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. Just letting you know, if you're not a fan of bugs, don't get on the stream. So I'm just letting you know right now. If you go to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, in about 5 seconds, there will be bugs on the screen. I'm letting you know right now. We are going to put Nick's bug box on the screen so everybody can see what live. Nick has been working on for the past forever.
The thing that has taken over my life this last 2.5 weeks.
Consumed your entire existence. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The bugs.
And so here we have about 30 bugs. Now they're not all in all the insects that I have are current. That just looks so stupid just sitting there. Anyway, all the insects that you see on the video stream are not currently
living.
Well, they're not. None of them are living. Now we have a couple butterflies. We got a couple moths. We got some beetles. We got some roaches. And we have some bees in there, amongst other things. I have some soft-bodied critters in a vial in a Ziploc bag. And, everything is dead. I mean, rest assured, nothing's going to be reincarnated or come back to life.
That would be a problem.
Think about all the things flying around in this little small box of a studio.
If all of that stuff started moving right now, I would lose my mind. I'm not scared of bugs.
No, here's the deal.
Sometimes it's just you just got feeling.
Now here's the thing. There's a moth in there that mark on while
it's a massive. So it's the top right. You can see it on the stream again. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. If you want to see the bug box, it's the top right moth. It's got some size to it.
It's got
a little bit of size to it. You can see it, if you guys want, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, I can take the camera off of the stand and show you the bugs. You have to let me know if that's what you would like, though.
The camera off the stand.
I can take it off of here, off the little pole thing.
Yeah.
And show you guys the bugs closer up. If you would like that, text in to see the bugs up close.
Unfortunately, if you're not on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, you'll be able to like rewatch this down the road.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, we'll try our best to illustrate what we're talking about.
Well, you'll
to
just
the best
have
of our
to
ability.
you'll just have to tell them what the bugs are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on, you
can
do that.
This has been swarming my life.
What kind of? So
here we go.
The one that Mark caught. What moth is it?
It's a Sphingidae. So it's of the order Lepidoptera, order Lepidoptera, and family Sphingidae moths. The normal ugly brown moths that you see normally, those are called the Noctuidae. Now this one, as you see, Rico, has a little bit of color on it.
A little bit.
It's honestly not a bad looking bug.
It's kind of pretty.
It's not a bad looking insect. And so it's disrespectful to call them bugs. Insect. And so,
I'm sorry. Am I hurting its feelings? It's
well,
dead.
Well, yeah, it's been through some traumatic activities over the last couple of weeks. Had a couple pins shoved in it, been frozen and stuff. Anyway, so it's actually not a bad looking insect. And so that's a Sphingidae.
All right, I've already had 4 people say they want to see it, so I'm going to show them the box.
That's whatever you want to do, Rico. I'll let you take care of it. Unnamed texter said, show the bugs. The garbologist said, do it. Henry said, let's go. The American Nightmare says, Nick, I have a beetle. I have to pick them up from my buddy. He got 2 beetles. I have 33 stops left, and then I'll come by the ticket office. Well, unfortunately, American Nightmare, I will be dipping out. I got to go in about 45 minutes or so. So if you can get here before that, that's great. If not, it's okay. Chase B said, I've had like 5 hang out on my windshield today at work. I'll have to bring some Tupperware tomorrow in case I see more. No, the reason I brought this to work is because I'm done. Today's the last day. We're done. You will not hear me talk about this anymore. It's consumed this show. It's consumed my life. It's consumed the drive with AD and Raph, and bless your guys' hearts, the listeners, for bearing with me and sticking around as we rant about this. I guess Raph texted me, and they're at the some event downtown. And basically what happened is Matt Rule, well, I guess I get a text from Raph in our group chat that says, why did Coach Rule just talk about kids out looking for bugs in their entomology class? And I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Matt Rule is not only listening to the 93.7 The Ticket station, but he's also, truly intently
He's paying
listening.
attention. He knows.
Yeah, right? I forgot that there's a lot of football players in this class.
Yeah,
as well.
I ruined Nick's happiness.
Rico just burst my bubble.
Nick's in there. He goes, dude, he's listening to the show because he was talking about etymology. And I go, or the fact that you've said it, there are multiple football players in your class.
Unfortunately, yeah. So Red Rocket says, rule number 1, you have to eat what you catch.
Those are the rules.
Those are so valuable, though.
Somebody
I need them so bad.
Somebody said how much to eat one bug on air.
Dirty Tony, you should know better. Somebody said promise. I think they're saying promise to never talk about it again. I'm serious. I want nothing to do with this anymore. I want to wipe and wash my hands clean of it.
Literally. I showed the bugs, by the way, close up. So if you want to check that out on the stream, you'll have to check the replay. At about 7-ish minutes into the stream, we show the bugs.
Are we just going to keep the bug box on the screen the entire time?
I mean, I can take it off whenever you want.
I don't really care.
It can just hang out there.
Just hang out. I think a day for the bugs.
Yeah. I mean, if you're done with it, we might as well show your hard
work. We might as well show it off. Yeah. Honestly, I think
the camera almost slipped out of my hand.
You
would have lost your mind.
I would have, live on air. I wouldn't have said what Bob Huggins said, but
you would have freaked out.
I would have flipped out.
You better not have said what
I would not have said what Bob Huggins said.
Unnamed text says, I'll eat a bug on the show for $100.
No, we don't want you to eat a bug.
I don't want you to eat the bug.
I mean, there's a tick in here that I don't need. So if
also,
you
I'm not going to pay $100.
Yeah, anybody that wants to eat a tick, I don't need it.
So a bug inside of a sucker would be a bad graduation present?
Absolutely.
No, that'd be a great graduation present.
I'm not a big sucker guy.
You don't have to eat it. You just keep it. And you just have the bug. So you'll always remember.
No. Yeah, so shout out to I mean, I have the list, but
the
monarch
people.
butterflies, Sphingidae moths. Mark said, shout out to Sphingidae moths.
Yep.
And Mark, you're absolutely correct. That was a crucial part of this box. Crucial part.
It's a good moth.
It's a pretty looking moth.
Shout out to Mark. I helped catch an ant, but
You
the
did?
ant shriveled up, so I'm not. It was a big ant
It's not.
before.
It's not as impressive.
No, it makes
unfortunately,
me
for
sad
you.
now.
Yeah, that's all right.
It was a big ant. It bit you a couple times.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got in there. I don't know. A couple beetles. Japanese beetle.
There's
Three flies. Those are from the Diptera order.
There's a grasshopper in there.
Yep. There's 2 grasshoppers. One's a long-horned grasshopper. One other one's a short-horned.
Okay.
Didn't know there was a difference until I took this class.
Neither did I.
They look the same. You got to change. Brad from Baldwin said, so are you going to get an A? Brad,
We hope so.
we're just worried about completing the
We're
assignment.
just
at this
hoping that
point, right?
hoping that Nick graduates.
Yeah, that's all we're worried about. So the garbologist said, so you're for sure going to pass and graduate. Now, here's what I'll say.
We
It
hope
is
so.
out of my hands. This is out of my hands.
This is it.
This is it.
After this, once
I
he turns this in,
I've taken full advantage of all the bonus points. It's not in my hands.
it's
not.
out of your hands.
I've completed all the requirements.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, as Carrie Underwood would say. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to get 7 bonus points, 5 for turning in early, 2 for all the soft-bodied insects that I caught in the little vials with solution in them, which includes roly-polies and spiders and centipedes.
Every time I try to get you a roly-poly, because I keep forgetting that you have one, KJ gets to the roly-poly first.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I can only have one of those.
Oh, okay.
I can only have one of each.
Okay.
So,
I thought you said you had a wasp.
that was one of them that got smashed.
Oh, dang
Yeah,
it.
that's a really sad
If you
day.
would have, I would have got you a wasp. There's still some bodies in my backyard.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I
so,
hate them.
and that's the thing is 11 of my insects got smashed. How they got smashed is not important. I did not do the smashing. It was a complete accident. And so therefore I've been in communication with my professor regarding that.
Mhm.
I've walked him through day by day of what I've done and how I've been out trying to find insects,
Yeah.
right? Out for 6 hours last night or yesterday. And so he said that even with 30 insects, which I have 30, with 30 insects, if I label everything correctly and I pin everything correctly, I can still get a 93. And that's not counting the 7 bonus percentage points that I could get. So that equals 100.
Yes.
So and I have email, I have receipts.
You have proof?
As Robert Sala
This
said.
is what you said.
That with the 7 bonus points, I can still get 100. And his advice to me was turn it in today. He said, turn it in today, get it off your plate. I said, okay.
There you go. And that's what
So-
you're going to do.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's why Nick will be leaving early today.
Yeah. So that's why I'll be
So
leaving
I let
early.
you all know that Nick left early yesterday. He's leaving early today, and he's leaving early tomorrow.
But ask me if I'm leaving early next week.
You leaving early next week?
I am not. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know if I have class those days.
Also,
I don't know. But after that week, I'm done.
also,
Done.
you won't be in studio on Friday.
Oh, yeah. Crap. I should probably make sure I don't have to go into class because I got a high school baseball.
That would be very important.
Yeah. So,
By the way, high school baseball.
high school baseball. Yeah. Man, a lot going on. A lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff going on. Anyway, 402-464-5685. If you want to go over to the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, you can see the bug box. Let's take a little bit of an early break here.
Little sip, Jake and Bill.
Yeah, a little sip, Jake and Bill. And since I
doesn't roll
do,
off the tongue,
since I do have to leave in about 20 minutes or so, we can go ahead and we'll just make the second segment a little bit longer than it normally would on a Tuesday or Thursday. So we'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we talk Hunter Dickinson. We talk a lot of NIL stuff and, whatever comes to mind because it's a celebratory day. Celebrate good times. Come on. Who knows? Maybe we sing that song.
Probably not.
Let's take a break. Happy hour. 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring is here, and Acres has special financing on all John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Get your yard looking great and use John White's selection of attachments to landscape your property to perfection. And for a limited time, with a purchase of a new $200 tool of your choice. Saws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Acres, solutions for every field.
Mother's Day is on Sunday, May 14th. Do you know what you're getting your mom this year? Stop procrastinating and get her the one thing that she wants, a massage. The Body Shop in Lincoln offers all sorts of massages. All you have to do to win this Mother's Day is get mom a gift card from the Body Shop. Swedish massage, deep tissue massage, hand and foot massage, and so much more. Gift cards can only be bought online at thebodyshoplink.com. The Body Shop, located at 48th and A.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. At Garner Industries, we provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director. We're looking for new team members in our CNC at Garner and for controlled and safe environment. Team we want to see you succeed. Work weeks, great benefit, and positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at GarnerIndustries.com.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
NASCAR is known for fast cars, roaring action, and big bucks. The Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion features all three, especially the bucks. Until May 30th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play or Double Play, enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship weekend. Powerball prize odds 1 in 292 million.
As a Nebraska lottery retailer, I'm always looking for new ways to promote scratch and lotto tickets. So this year, I've hired the local hockey team to remind people how fast, easy, and fun the games are. Hey, no cross-checking, customers. Sorry, have it. It's a little hectic, but working. $1 scratch ticket coming your way. Oh, nice shot. Right in the breadbasket.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking is our work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at JamesEnterpriseInc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods, plus convenient drinks and snacks, those which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page 360 for food truck events coming up.
93.6 Fox FXL weather, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We'll see a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms today with an afternoon high of 82. Southeast winds at around 15 to 20. Mostly cloudy tonight with the low dropping down to around 62. We'll have a better chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially late in the day tomorrow as we reach up to a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and the Ticket.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know, as a sports talk radio host, you always enjoy the times that sports break and breaking news happens while you're on the air.
Oh, yeah, it's always fun.
And we have two of those instances right now. Two stories to definitely get to.
Do you want to get to the non-local one first?
Let's get to the non-local one first.
Because we can just hit on that really fast, and then because we have more about the other one.
Yes. So here is one thing. Casey Thompson has committed to play football at Florida Atlantic University.
There it is.
He reunites with Tom Herman at FAU, and he goes somewhere, honestly, yes, it's a group of 5 school, but it gives him a great opportunity to shine, right? Gives him an excellent opportunity to shine and showcase his skills. And I think a lot of Husker fans quickly rallied around Casey Thompson because of the kind of warrior that he was on the field, I guess. And secondly, what you heard in press conferences. And I think a lot of football fans, I'm not trying to make it over dramatic, but a lot of football fans learned a lot from Casey Thompson in the short time. I mean, I'll never forget when his clip prior to the Northwestern game at the start of the season last year, where it was like, yeah, we have faith in Casey Thompson as Husker fans, and we'll kind of see where he takes us. There was a lot of excitement around the season, but also a lot of skepticism on whether or not Scott Frost and his staff was going to work. There was just a lot of question marks, right, and uncertainty of who the leaders were on this team as well. And Casey
your starting quarterback wasn't named a team captain.
Exactly. And so Casey Thompson sort of settled the waters prior for a very short time when he came out and basically gave a lecture type of press conference breaking down the Northwestern offense, the Northwestern ball club.
It was like watching film without having the actual film on, the way that he was able to break everything down. And I think this is going to be good for him. He's had 3-4 different head coaches in his time in college, which is practically unheard of. Even with the transfer era of things, having 4 different, he had Tom Herman, Sarkisian, Scott Frost, Mickey Joseph. He had 4 head coaches in 4 years in college football. So hopefully being able to reunite with the guy who recruited him will settle the waters, because this guy, Casey Thompson, is one of the more, I mean, I guess I can't really say that because I hadn't really heard from a lot of other guys, but just listening to him talk, one of the more football savvy guys that we've had the pleasure of listening to at the podium in terms of breaking things down and being able to articulate everything about an opposing team's defense, including everybody else. So having Casey Thompson going to FAU, again, it's breaking news just to see that, going from Texas and Nebraska to a Sun Belt team is a little crazy, but he has the talent, he has the brains, he has the knowledge to make things work. I think he's going to be successful there, and we'll see what happens afterwards.
And so, I mean, I think another thing that we'll kind of always remember from just the tumultuous and roller coaster of a season that 2022 was for Nebraska football, when Scott Frost got fired and Mickey Joseph kind of started coming in and taking over, and then Eric Shenander gets fired, and it was not really sure on how attentive or present Mark Whipple may have been through the later stages of last year. And then you have Mark Whipple get banged up on the sidelines and never really get back to the Mark Whipple that we saw at the beginning of the season in the later stages of the year last season. And so you sit there and go, all right, you always look for some guy to rally the rest of the team and somewhat keep them together. And part of that was Mickey Joseph. And I want to make sure we've given him a lot of credit on the show and on the station, and rightfully so. But a lot of that's also the players in that locker room, including Casey Thompson. And so when you look back, I think there's a lot of reasons on maybe why Casey became one of the Husker fans' favorite players, and why it was not necessarily shocking, but just kind of a bummer when Casey Thompson decided to enter the transfer portal, because of what he did and how he spoke and how he operated in such a short amount of time here in Lincoln. I think it really left a really good impression on a lot of Husker fans. And so once again, breaking news there that Casey Thompson is officially transferring to Florida Atlantic to
Longhorn Husker Owl.
Yeah, to reunite with former Texas Longhorn coach Tom Herman. So
who was off for a year.
Yes.
Took a year off after.
That's correct.
I don't know, his other stops.
That's correct. So then the other piece of breaking news, and this one
closer to home.
This one gonna hit a little closer to home, especially for myself. It was announced, officially announced today, that Pius X baseball head coach Troy Scharf has officially resigned after 17 seasons for the Thunderbolts. He's led Pius baseball to 9 state tournaments. He has won 3 state titles and was runner-up twice in those 17 seasons. And so Troy Scharf has announced that he is resigning from Pius X baseball. The Thunderbolts and athletic director Greg Lashak just announced that moments ago officially. And so, I mean, I'll just say this. Pius baseball is difficult, like a lot of other high school sports are. But the conditioning and the mentality that was instilled on all of us when I played baseball for 4 years. Super thankful that Coach Scharf was my head coach, and everybody, all the assistants, but right now for Coach Scharf, I mean, I'll never forget walking in that freshman year, and although they haven't necessarily had the state tournament type success in the last 5 years or so, man, I remember walking in as a freshman like, this guy just won 2 state titles. He got a guy to all these, colleges that we sit down and they hand you a pamphlet. I'll never forget sitting in the old Pius X gym, and they hand you a packet of papers, and it has probably 2 pages long of players that this staff has sent to play college ball. And so it's, and their whole mentality is like, listen, if you grind it out and you buy into this process that we're teaching you, there's no reason you're not going to be on this piece of paper and this pamphlet. Mm-hmm. And that's why a couple guys from my class were able to go. And unfortunately, I mean, I just chose a different way, but at the end of the day, through a lot of adversity, it was great, because I think one of the greatest things that Coach Scharf knew how to do, and I really realized this my senior year, was separate baseball from life, right? And so one thing that I will say regarding it, there was adversity and there was yelling and there was stuff that happened on the field, whether it was in game, and I enjoyed being coached that way, so it didn't bother me. But one thing I will say is, and funny text, that's a great text, man. Anyway, when you are able to separate what you had on the field and getting mad at a coach, if I was annoyed or pissed, I mean, I'll say it, pissed at the coaches for yelling on me or getting on me for doing something that I didn't think I did wrong. He did a really good job, and he and the coaches did a really good job of, then when I saw them in the school hallways and when I talked to them off the field, they didn't bring that.
There's no carryover.
There's no carryover. And so made it very important that, hey, baseball's baseball, and there's a lot of one thing I'm super grateful for is there was a lot of life lessons, and this happens at multiple high schools. There's a lot of good life and quality life lessons that you learn through sports. And that's why throughout multiple times on this station, I've talked about youth sports, and I've talked about, I just think youth sports system, it's
the impact that
it's becoming flawed. It's I'll say it, the youth sports system, and this goes farther than high school. Youth sports, when you're in grade school, God, I was at a 12-year-old soccer game the other day, and a parent pulled his kid out of the flipping game and drug him back to the car. And I'm sitting there going, this is not your time to be at the front. This is not the time. Whatever you want to do behind closed doors, that's one thing. But that's not your time to rip your kid away from potential relationships that are being built, from experiences, from programs, from organizations. And I've gone down a rabbit hole before, and we don't necessarily need to do that. But youth sports, as sad as it is to say, is becoming a cash grab, and it's becoming more and more about the parents than it is about the participants. And man, when you can sit here, and whether you have a 22-year-old here on the radio saying it, whether you have an 18-year-old who's just getting into college ball saying it, yeah, listen, throughout my grade school life, it was bad, or you have a 50-year-old realizing it, that's when you know you have screwed up more than we ever thought we could get there. And it's really disappointing. It's really disappointing when you see entry fees for tournaments are at $50 for a weekend when you're already dropping thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And on the flip side, if your kid doesn't want to play, don't force them to play. There's a difference between working and battling through adversity and just not enjoying it. I've told this story multiple times before, but where I used to work at a baseball and softball facility where we gave lessons, a kid would come in and say, I just want to go home and I want to work on a science project, but my dad drugged me here to play baseball. And he knows that. There's 100% adversity. There's 100% something true to sticking with something when you don't want to do it and saying, nah, man, listen, it's good for you. That's 100% accurate. But it's ridiculous when they are forced and able, your child is able to communicate to you that they don't want to be there. And yet you want them to be there because you want them to be there.
You're living vicariously through your child,
man.
because you couldn't do it, or you couldn't make it, or you didn't have. And there's a difference between you not having the opportunities and giving your child all those opportunities and forcing those opportunities on your child.
It's really disappointing. It's really disappointing because youth sports at its core, it's great for the on the field stuff. It's great but more importantly, it's great for relationships. It's great for also, if you find a really good team, parents can develop relationships with other families. Coaches can develop relationships with children. Like when you find a good program or organization, whether it be baseball, softball, soccer, football, whatever it may be, I think what's important to remember is at 9 years old, nobody gives a crap about what you did at 9 years old when you're in college. Them going to work out when they don't want to at 9 years old isn't going to make them, or isn't going to automatically get them to Nebraska. It's not. Like, it's great to develop habits, but my goodness, it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing. And Ubaldo says this, Nick is preaching, hell yeah, probably pissing off some dads who peaked in high school, but that's fine. And that's like, I understand that's the stereotype. And maybe this is why I kind of say this every now and then, and I always go off on this every now and then, is because there might be folks out there doing it without even realizing it. And that's okay. But I think asking your child or children a simple question of, hey, dude, hey, do you actually like playing? Do you actually want to go? Because, man, if they're brave enough to communicate to somebody that they look up to and they do not want to disappoint, if they're brave enough, at 10 years old or 11, that I know a lot of kids aren't, if they're brave enough to stand up for themselves and say, hey, I just don't want to do it. I want to do something else. I want to play tennis instead of baseball. I want to play golf instead of football. I know you played football, but I want to play baseball. Whatever it may be, if they're brave enough to stand up to the one person in their world that they don't want to disappoint at all, man, listen to them. Listen to them. Because if you don't, that relationship, and I've seen it, thankfully my parents raised me that way, where they always double checked with me. And it wasn't a way of, listen, if you don't have, you can quit. If it was not that, I don't want to get that twisted, but it was, hey man, if you don't want to do this, you can find something else to do.
It's just having a conversation with your child. It's just sitting down and actually talking to them about what they want to do. Because and just kind of taking this back to right now, Ellie keeps telling us she wants to do gymnastics. But that's something that she keeps telling us. Like we wanted to put her in gymnastics. We want to get her involved in these things just to see if she would like it. But we're not going to force her to do something if she's against it. If we're not going to sit here and say, hey, we're going to put you in a basketball league. And after if one practice or something, she's like, I don't want to do this, but we're not going to keep forcing her like, okay, well, it was a one practice. Let's go back and do this. If she says she doesn't want to do it, okay, we're not going to take you back. But later on down the road, a couple of years from now, if a couple of her friends are playing basketball and she's like, hey, I want to try this again. Okay, we can do that, but we're not going to keep taking her to these things if one time, and there's a difference, like you said, between, just quitting because it's hard and quitting because you don't want to do it anymore. There's a difference between that, and that's why having a conversation with your child is so important.
And it's okay. Specific sports, it's important to take time off. I always say when I work with baseball players, I'm always talking about how you can continue to sharpen your mind year round. That's one thing that you can always continue to sharpen your mind. But for example, for baseball, you don't want to throw year round. If you're 9 or 10 years old and you're trying to teach your kids how to throw a slider, shame on you. Learn how to throw a fastball fundamentally correct. And realize that at 9 years old, you don't have to throw a slider. You don't. It doesn't matter. Because why? Because it's killing the future. It's killing it. Because when it becomes at 9 or 10 years old, when it becomes more of a chore to go to baseball practice or football practice once a week, or it's a chore to get them away from reading a book to go, hey, let's hit off of a tee, then man, it's becoming more about you than it is about the child. And that's where you've messed up. I mean, that's just how I feel. And once again, it's not the, hey, yeah, let's go ahead and quit and play video games or do nothing, just sit around. That's not what I'm getting at. But I think kids are a lot smarter at 10 years old, and I've realized this working with a lot of players. Kids are a lot smarter at 10 or 11 years old than I ever thought than I was at that age. Mm-hmm. And nothing kills me more when I see a parent, because moms are just as guilty as dads and vice versa. And nothing kills me inside more than knowing that kid doesn't want to come and learn from me. And it's tough for me to then be like, dude, let's hit for an hour. I can't say that. And first of all, it's not even my kid, and it's killing my conscience. And if you are aware of it, if you're a parent out there that's aware of it, and you're still okay with sending them to an hour to something that every week they are dreading to go to.
Yep.
Come on.
Not great.
It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. And it's if it crushes me, I don't know how it's not crushing parents.
That's what I was going to say earlier. It's the impact that a great coach can have on a child's life if they are interested in doing that sport, and if they truly want to do that, is immeasurable. Like I still talk to some of my high school coaches to this day because of the impact that they had on my life. Some of my college coaches, again, they were great to me as coaches. They coached me hard. There were some tense moments in there, but once you graduate and you're no longer that student athlete, if you have that relationship, you can become good friends with your coaches. Like it's things like that that are very important in the youth sports organizations that it's kind of missing right now, because you have coaches who, as you said, can tell, like, this kid doesn't want to be here. This kid doesn't want to do that. But then you hear the parent in the stands, yelling and screaming, or, that parent's coming up to you after the game like, hey, why isn't my kid starting? And, the coach can't just say, dude, your kid doesn't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
You have to kind of walk on eggshells and be like, well, they need to do this and this. And maybe you're trying to beat around the bush and try and let them know, like, your kid doesn't really want to practice. Your kid doesn't want to play. They would rather be, on this other field. They would rather be at home working on a science project or something. Like, they don't want to be here right now. But as a coach, you have to be careful, because if you just say that to a parent, they might lose their mind on you.
Yeah.
You've seen the videos of parents at AAU games who are fighting in the stands. Like, this is a children's event. This is not, like you said earlier, this is not about you. This is not your moment. This is your kid's moment. You need to let them do what they want to do. And if it's not basketball, if it's not football, let them go play tennis, let them golf, let them play soccer. Heck, let them play video games. Not for hours on end, but let them play, because there are more opportunities in that avenue than there were before now.
And this is the last thing I'll say before we go to break. I think this is a really important conversation to just have and open up to you guys as well. 402-464-5685. And Chad says, love this talk. I have a son playing on a 10U team here in Lincoln. I already see it on his team and other teams. And my situation wasn't perfect. I don't want to make it sound like it was perfect or that I know everything. I'm not trying to make it come across that way. However, being in that youth sports world and growing up in the youth sports world, having an older sibling that underwent it, and I've been able to see the evolution of how it's changed from the players and participants being the priority to the parents are now doing it for them. And is that youth sports? Are you paying a $1,200, team fee plus all the tournament fees plus all the equipment just so you and your family have games to go to on the weekend when your child doesn't want to be there? Are you paying that for you rather than for the child to develop relationships and to develop skills? And I've said it over and over that when I grew up, obviously played select baseball. I played junior Salt Dogs baseball up until I was 10 years old. Junior Salt Dogs is the league between Babe Ruth, or Cal Ripken, it's called now, and travel ball. And I didn't want to leave necessarily my team because, look, I had a lot of really good friends on there. I went to grade school with a lot of those people a lot of my teammates on that junior Salt Dogs team. We were not good, but we enjoyed it. Well, my coach emails my parents like, hey, listen, I've taught Nick everything he needs. I can teach him at this level. He needs to try out for a travel ball team. So my parents sat me down and was like, we think it's a good idea. Let's start out select baseball. Families know how the rankings work. Single A, double A, triple A, major are the levels. Major is obviously the highest level. And we tried out for the Lincoln Sox team. It was a double A organization, maybe fringe triple A. We weren't very good. We could hold our own in double A, but as a team, we weren't all that good.
We weren't lighting the world.
We weren't lighting the world on fire. We would play a majors team and we'd lose 16-2. But man, I still keep in touch with parents of that team. We never wanted to change teams because my parents got along with all of the other families. The coaches were really high-level quality coaches. And all my teammates and I got along, and we stuck together from 10 years old and up until we were done at age 14. As Matthew Hickman says, bigger than baseball. Amen, brother. Amen. Because like I could have, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to toot a horn here, I could have made it. I don't know about a major team, but I could have made a AAA team. I'd been talked to about, maybe I can come up, try trying out for the Dodgers or trying out for the Dominators, or we got a spot for you. But my parents were like, listen, we don't want to risk not enjoying our experience by going to another team. And that's not saying that doesn't happen anywhere else, but man, it sure made going on the road every weekend and staying in a hotel almost every other weekend a lot more enjoyable when you can play cards with the parents on that Saturday night. You're spending a lot of time with these people, And if it's a dreaded experience for your child, what are you doing?
It shouldn't feel like work for a kid.
What are you doing? If it's a dreaded experience for your player, what are you doing? And so I think this is a really important conversation to have. And please, I'll say this. Don't ever drag your kid across the field, humiliate them publicly in front of not only their friends and their peers, but also all the parents and grandparents, because you look like the biggest idiot in the world. Nobody cares about what your 9-year-old son or daughter just did and how bad they missed a goal or that they weren't running. Nobody gives a crap. Everybody looks at you and just goes, what an idiot. What a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly how everybody was like, is this really happening? And that was the perfect illustration of what youth sports has turned into. And so I think this conversation is important to have. I'm sorry for going on a little bit of a rant. Rico, thanks for hanging on with me.
Hey, we're good.
Appreciate you listeners for tuning in and keeping the dial turned here.
It was necessary.
I apologize, but not necessarily to people I may have pissed off, because I think this is a really valuable conversation. What did Conor McGregor say? I apologize to absolutely
nobody.
And so I just think it's a really, really valuable conversation to have. Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. When we come back, Strick and Austin will join Rico. I get to go turn in this bug box.
One more time.
Show the bug box. So yeah, just the breaking news of the last 30 minutes or so. Casey Thompson to FAU, and Pius X Thunderbolts head baseball coach Troy Scharf has decided to resign after 17 seasons with the Thunderbolts, as he led them to 9 state tournaments and 3 state championships in his 17 years, and one of the coaches that I still appreciate to this day. So shout out to my old coach Troy Scharf, on an incredible career leading the Thunderbolt baseball program. Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, but Rico, we'll be back in a few moments. You're listening to the Happy Hour on The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Now's the time to schedule your air conditioner service check with Bryant. Make sure it's ready to keep you cool and comfortable when you really need it. Call Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating, 467.
Looking for an effective way to reach the fitness goals you haven't been able to accomplish on your own? Body Fit Training science-based programming is led by multiple highly accredited coaches who will help you get the results you're capable of. Their group of strength training classes are designed to help you build muscle, burn fat, and improve your overall fitness level. At BFT Lincoln, you'll train like an athlete and be surrounded by motivated and like-minded individuals. For May only, get 1 week of classes for just $7 by visiting bodyfittraining.com.
Mother's Day is on Sunday, May 14th. Do you know what you're getting your mom this year? Stop procrastinating and get her the one thing that she wants, a massage. The Body Shop in Lincoln offers all sorts of massages. All you have to do to win this Mother's Day is get mom a gift card from the Body Shop. Swedish massage, deep tissue massage, hand and foot massage, and so much more. Gift cards can only be bought online at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop, located at 48th and A.
A lot of their family focus. In life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
97 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We'll see a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms today with an afternoon high of 82. Southeast winds at around 15 to 20. Mostly cloudy tonight. 62. We'll have a better chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially late in the day tomorrow, as we reach up to a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
NASCAR is known for fast cars, roaring action, and big bucks. The Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion features all three, especially the bucks. Until May 30th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play or Double Play, enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Championship weekend. And Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
As a Nebraska Lottery retailer, I'm always looking for new to promote scratch and lotto tickets. So this year, I've hired the local hockey team to remind people how fast, easy, and fun the games are. Hey, no cross-checking customers. Sorry, have it. It's a little hectic, but it's working. $1 scratch ticket coming your way. Oh, nice shot. Right in the breadbasket.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Look at me. This plane is going to Jamaica.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hard to follow up that epic rant by Nick in the last segment talking about youth sports, but I guess we'll do the best that we can. Welcome back to the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket. I am Rico. Nick went to go get an A in his entomology class. Hopefully, you guys saw the bug box on the screen for most of for the entire first segment and towards the end of the second segment. Hopefully, Nick can get an A. He can graduate, and then he'll never have to leave early again. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm joined by the gentleman from On the Block, Austin Strick. How are you guys?
Good.
Straight chilling.
Good.
How are you, Rico?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
I have two questions for you. One involves a basketball player. The other involves a former basketball coach. James Johnson, the former Virginia Tech coach, basketball, has been hired by Virginia Tech to be an assistant of sorts for the football team. He is the director of high school relations for Virginia Tech football now, after having been the basketball coach for about 2 years at Virginia Tech, and then he was at Miami and NC State for a while, but he's headed back to Virginia Tech. Thoughts?
I don't have a problem with that because the relationship still exists, whether you're talking about football, baseball, across all spectrums. You deal with high schools, ADs, coaches. If you're a relational guy, those relationships are important because they're being counseled, believe it or not. They're being mentored or counseled or something of the sort. I think those relationships are still valuable. I think that for a period, the relationship that Kenny was building in the same type of position are invaluable. with coaches and parents and so forth across the spectrum. I think you need that. You're going to need something like that, especially in the era. And we're going to get into that. We're talking about reasons as to why kids are starting to move around. But it's a balanced spectrum. I think there's kids that are going to be looking, Rico, for money.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's kids that are looking for relationships. And then there's kids that are looking for a brand building. Where can I do that? Then there's kids just want to play. And so I think there's a broad spectrum and there's a niche for each of them, right? NIL handles obviously the money side of it. So if you have your collective and whatever, if your basketball collective sucks, then you're probably going to lose out on some guys that but
has that ever happened before? Have we ever seen that?
No, I don't talk.
But how do you make up for that? Then you need someone who can build relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care, in business, in life, people do business or like being around or being in business with those that they like. That'll never stop. I don't care how far we go and how greedy people are. That relationship is still there. Here's why I know that. When I was working in the car business, I was in managerial training for Acura down in Dallas. I found that retention with sales. So when you do a great job of taking care of them, understanding them, listening to them, meeting their needs, they'll return and they'll pay you more for a car, even though they can go get a better deal somewhere else. And I've learned that. So that's just my thought on it. And I'm sticking to it.
Okay. I mean, I kind of had the not as eloquently stated as you, but I thought the same thing. He was a head coach there for 2 years. I thought he might have had a relationship with some of the high schools around Blacksburg in the Virginia, the DMV area, and that should be able to help with the football team. The only issue is that he was only there for 2 years because they were 6-30 in the conference when he was there.
16-11 out of conference.
That is true. That is true. But not the greatest ACC record. So might have good relationships, might be strained relationships. You don't know in that. But something that you mentioned during your talk is NIL and money and compensation. Hunter Dickinson headed to Kansas strictly for NIL.
Yeah, that's what we're going to dig into.
Oh, okay. I won't.
Quiet part out loud.
Yeah, we're going to.
I don't think he cared about the quiet part. I think he was just going to say. Well, he said it was kind of embarrassing, but I'm going here for NIL.
Yeah.
I wasn't making six figures at Michigan, despite being an All-American, which first off, you hear him not making six figures in college, and you're like, first off, that's crazy.
Right.
But then you remember he was one of the better players in the country in the Big Ten, and you hear of others who are making more than him.
I.e., you're down in Miami. And we're like I said, we're going to dig into that.
Oh, okay. Then we won't go too far into that. We won't go too far into
Sorry
that.
to steal your crossover.
Yeah, we didn't mean to steal
it's
the
okay.
crossover
No, it's
thunder,
okay.
Yeah,
I figured you guys were going to talk about it, but I don't know how much there is actually to talk about with Hunter Dickinson, so I don't want you to waste it here when you can use it on the block.
Yeah, great tease.
There you go. Hunter Dickinson, NIL, Kansas, Michigan.
Yeah.
On the block, Eric Strickland, Austin Norman, Duke shooting coach.
In his mind.
Actual shooting coach.
None of y'all have ever seen me shoot a jumper. You would
That's
know it's
true.
not just in my mind.
Should we?
Pure.
You know what?
Splash.
I hope we can get a basketball hoop down at the new downtown spot.
We'll have a literal shootout with Strick.
And just put it outside and just see that shooting stroke from Austin.
It's so pretty.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us on the block. Well, it's going to do it for me on the block. Up next. Adios.
You finally fished your man cave in the basement. New furniture, huge TV, and items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and call on Henry's today. Pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I
love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring